All right, man. Y'all been asking me and asking me about this field, and I've been trying for years, at least 5, 6 years. I found the first email going back at 2018. I sent the first email. That's 4 years ago. But I've been telling y'all about this field at least 2 years prior to that. So Zondi asked me about what the field looks like. So that's why I'm making this video. Plus, I need to practice my editing skills. But I don't know what to tell y'all, man. This is what the field looks like. It's just completely empty. Nobody's ever there. Now, I can't guarantee that this year because sooner or later, more and more people gonna find the field, and they just gonna start using it. So the first couple years I came here, I never saw a single soul, not even a person parked anywhere, not a person walking around the field, not a person on the street nearby. I never saw anybody. This place was just a ghost, and literally the lights would just be on all hours of the night, just be on, always on, and the field is always cut. It's always available. Or at least that's what's been going on the last 5 or 6 years. Now I can't guarantee it's gonna be available this year. All I know is the past 5 or 6 years, this is what it's looked like. Oh, so another reason I'm making is because finally, after 5 years, Tommy and Booba came to look at the field the other day, but they saw it when all the Pee Wee people were there, when all the Pee Wee football people were there. So that's another reason for recording this video. I wanted y'all to see the field, what it looks like when it's empty, the way I see it. Most of the 99% of the time, this is the way I see the field. Now getting back to the Pee Wee football. So, actually, let me explain this right here. So, the mistake I kept making was I kept sending a gigantic picture of this field empty like this and telling y'all to come down here, and nobody would ever come. And I understand you don't want to park your cars at the top of the hill, but first of all, nobody even came to look. That's number one. So if you find yourself at the top of the hill, this is how you're gonna come. You come down from the left side, come back around, and you're gonna see this little gate here. Right here where this little gate is. And you're looking for a little gravel road that goes around the back. One more time, there's the little gate. It's always open. There's a gravel road. You can go down a gravel road around the back of the field, and that's where you're going to park your cars. You'll be able to see your cars. It's brightly lit. I'll show you in a second. But anyway, let me go back to talking about the Pee Wee football. So, first 3 years, I never saw a single soul. Then a couple years ago, I saw a little Pee Wee football team using the field. It was just one team. By the second year, there was a second Pee Wee team. This year, I've seen 4 different teams using the field, and there was a shitload of people, and that's the way Tommy saw it. But yeah, okay, let me backtrack. Now you're going to follow the little gravel roads and go around this little playground here. This is the playground. It's not a long road. It's just going around the back end zone of the field. So that's all this is. I'm just showing you the playground so you can see how small it is. It's to your right there. This is the parking lot that you're going to see. You're going to see the playground over there on your left, or it'll be on your right as you're coming in on the car. This is the gravel parking lot. Just park on this side. You can see how brightly lit it is. There's plenty of room to park all your cars. You'll never see another single soul the entire time you're over there. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that. And so that brings back the Pee Wee thing again. Let me talk about the Pee Wee. So when Tommy and Booba came, this whole parking lot was full of people because over the years, like I say, nobody was using this field. But as time went on, now there's 4 different little Pee Wee teams. So is this field going to be available to the Pee Wee team? When is this season here? Tommy and Booba was asking me. So I did find out some information on that. Look at all this. Look at all that light. All that space. All for us. I don't know what to tell y'all anymore. This is what I've been seeing for 5-6 years of frustration trying to convince y'all to come out here. All right, but anyway, I found information on a little Pee Wee football team. So they have a playoff game this Saturday. The time changes this coming Monday the 6th or 7th or whatever. If they win their game this Saturday, then they'll have one more week of practice. And that means they're in the final game in their playoff game. But no matter what, it's all going to end on the 12th. But one of the 4 teams, if any of the 4 teams advance, then they're going to have another week of practice. If they don't advance, then this field is available next week, next Monday. Well, as far as I know, I can almost guarantee it's going to be empty just the way you're looking at it now. The same way I've seen it year after year. Nobody. So if you're wondering what time, I recorded this last year. And this is another example of what would happen is we would go to Georgia Tech. It was 6:30. We started playing. And at 6:50, they came and told us we had to leave. And then there was no place to play. The Burger Bowl wasn't lit at that time. So I wound up leaving and going home. And I was like, just as always, for the past 5-6 years, just out of curiosity, I'm like, man, let me see. You know what? I'm going to drive by that field, see if the lights are lit. And sure enough, I got here. We got kicked out at 6:50. I got here at 7 o'clock. Nobody here. Same thing, same story, at least 40 different times over the past 5-6 years. And I didn't have my camera, so I had to go home and get my camera. And then I came back, still empty. And this is actually at 7:30, all this footage you're seeing right now. Anyway, yeah, so I make no promises about this being empty. All I know is for the past 5 or 6 years, what you see here is what I've been seeing, what it's always been like. What else? Yeah, so the only guarantee I can make is that if we start playing here, look at all this goddamn stuff. If we start playing here, y'all will never go back to Georgia Tech. I guarantee you, you'll never want it, because there's no reason to. You have all this field to yourself. Now, the second guarantee I can make is this shit's not always gonna be like this. There's just no way. If y'all remember, at one point we played at the Krispy Kreme, or the Central Park down past the Krispy Kreme. We played there, and then eventually we got kicked out because a kickball started spreading out over there, kickball and frisbee and other bullshit. So we didn't get to use that field. Then at one point we went to Iverson Park. Who remembers that? Tommy took us to Iverson Park. We used that. And then the neighbors started complaining. That lasted about 2 weeks, and we got kicked out of there. And then, what else? Who else? What else? So then we went to Bankhead. We went to Bankhead and played there, and that shit was great for like 1 year. And then what happened? I don't know if we was making too much noise or the police got tired of all the fucking yelling or whatever. Then they started turning the lights out. We couldn't use that field. Oh, and then before that, who remembers I took y'all to, we used to play right there off of Freedom Parkway. That shit was heaven for a little while. We almost got in a fight with the rugby guys. They came and tried to kick us off. But that was it. I mean, we played there for a little while, and now what is that shit? Now that shit's a gigantic sports complex. And they got baseball fields and football fields and soccer, and we can't even get in there if we wanted to. You have to pay for that shit. It's all like artificial field and nice as shit. This is the last free field in Atlanta, and we could have been using this for 5. If you see the frustration in my voice, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, because this was always available, and there was nothing I could do to convince y'all. And even if I slightly almost convince y'all, what would happen? Eddie or Lindelof or somebody else, one of the Georgia Tech, Nino, one of the Georgia Tech loyalists, like, oh, no, let's go to Georgia Tech. And then we get kicked off again the next day. That's why I'm fucking frustrated. That's I mean, I don't know what to tell y'all. This shit's available. We could be playing on it. There's nobody here. It's not always gonna be that way.